Listen, you've never seen a sunrise quite like this. Call your friends, family everywhere in the world. Tell them to tune in because for the very first time, we're going to have our Bible study edition of Wednesday morning service. Ruthlyn Hylton is the senior pastor of Maranatha Christian Church, located in Waterhouse, yes, where she serves the local community as pastor and justice of the peace. This mother of 6'6", interesting, has a passion and a heart for less fortunate and have been born and raised in the inner city. Teaching the gospel has been the cornerstone of her life. Welcome.
Indeed, joining us this morning for Bible study at Sunrise is Pastor Ruthlyn Hylton, and joining the Bible study group are our very own Sunrise Queens. We have Brunella, Stephanie, Kamisha, and Patricia. Pastor Ruthie, over to you.
Good morning. And it's a pleasure to be here this morning, having Bible study and, or I should say, probably devotion.
Yeah.
And I know this is Women's Month. And so my name is Ruth. And which other book I could choose but the book of Ruth?
Absolutely.
And as many of you might have known, Ruth means friendly or a compassionate friend. And that's who really, I think, my mother, when she chose my name, that's what she was thinking about. Well, let's just jump into Bible study this morning. My anchor verses will be from Ruth chapter 1, verse 16, chapter 2, verse 2, and 4, 13 to 14. The story is told of Ruth and Orpah, two Moabite ladies who married two sons of two Judeans, Naomi and her husband Elimelech. They both settled in Moab because there was a famine that they were trying to escape that was in Judea. And so when they went to Moab, they decided to settle down there. Unfortunately, the ladies' three husbands died, and so they decided to go back to Judea, where Naomi is originally from. Now, going back to Judea, Naomi was very disturbed, distraught. She was very depressed and distressed. And so she told her daughter-in-laws not to come with her. She said, don't follow me. Things are too bad. I'm a woman of badness, She called herself Mar. She said, you know, things are not good with me. And so it's better for you to stay, go back to your homeland, and I will go back to mine. However, Orpah, one of the daughter-in-law, she gave her a kiss, and she decided to go back home. However, Ruth, on the other hand, with her friendliness and her compassionate and love, she decided to follow Naomi. And so this is where verse 116 says, she said, do not try to deter me, or I will never leave you nor forsake you. Your God is my God, and I will serve your God. I am going with you wherever you are going, and I'll serve your God. More or less, it was that they've been together for over 10 years. Naomi would have told her who her God is and what her God is about, and, you know, just being committed to her God. And so with that said, I believe that Ruth decided to say, you know, let me step out and try. Let me step out by faith. Ruth was a woman of faith. So she decided that she would go along with Naomi. Now, this must have been very sad for Ruth, because here she's leaving her gods because they worship pagan gods. They did not believe in Yahweh. They did not believe in our God. And so she was going to a place where she knows she was rejected. She was rejected because history tells that Moabites weren't allowed to mingle or intertwine with Judeans. But she decided to go regardless because she trusted the God that more than likely her husband and Naomi spoke about. Now, when she went there, she had to make a choice. And this was a choice that she made. And because of her choices brought her to commit, and she was convicted to everything that would happen there in Judea. Oftentimes, we know that crisis forces us to make choices. And while some of us might fail to commit to choices, here we are. Ruth is very committed. She's set her head straight. She's not doing anything other than what her faith is lifted up. And she's saying, if you die, I want to die there. Whatever it is, I am going there. Now, this is how oftentimes we ought to make choices. taking that, believing in God is a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice for every believer. Yes. And especially now in these, the last of the last days that we're living in, this is the gospel that I preach. I go around telling persons, I'll tell them about my faith, what I believe in, how I got there, my experiences, but then it's left to you as that individual to make the choice. And so Ruth was very committed. She was committed, she was obedient, and she was loyal. And that led her in Bethlehem, whereby it was by divine coincidence. It was the beginning of the barley harvest at the time, because remember, there was a famine. So the barley harvest started it, and by divine arrangement, she was now gleaming in the fields owned by Boaz, a wealthy relative of her dead father-in-law. Isn't that something? Just obedience and commitment brought her there. But however, this was the covenant blessings that was returned to Bethlehem. So she's just walking by faith. She don't know what is going to happen. She's just going beyond the norm, going beyond the water's edge, stepping out there and not knowing, how the sharks were hangling in the water or what. But she made up her mind. Yes. Both her and Boaz, long story short, I'm trying to jump. Yeah. Both her and Boaz got married. And this brought them to a position of their lives where God's purpose would have been fulfilled. Boaz was convicted, and so by divine purpose, they both got married. Ruth was important in the lineage of the Messiah of Jesus Christ. Most of us know that. And so through this woman, Ruth, who was a nobody, very insignificant, nobody want to deal with her. She has so many things going on. She's a widow. Being a widow, you have been rejected oftentimes, but she decided to step out there and say, in spite of. I just want us to know this morning that God will use you no matter who you are. No, it doesn't matter your sex, your creed, your religion. It doesn't matter your status. God will use you. He used simple persons and, in people that are insignificant to show what it is that he wants and his purpose to be fulfilled in each and every one of us. So
awesome,
I encourage you.
Yes. Yes, and I want to say, and tell me if I'm incorrect, that the application for us is to, like Ruth, is to move by faith, because Orpah went back to her original place of abode, but Ruth followed. She said, I want to follow you, I will serve your God, Yahweh.
Yes.
That for me is the application. And look what happened. She met her Boaz.
Her Boaz, hey. Which every woman today, we always talk it. And every woman is looking for their Boaz.
I'm never broke. Very well. In Jamaican parlance, broke mean penniless. That was Pastor Ruthlyn Stoner Hylton of Maranatha Christian Church. Listen, let's take a short break because we're going to continue the discussion in the break. When we return, breakfast is served.